Well,
That's significant.
and I personally am sorry to hear that because I currently work in a court in Tazewell County in Pekin where a significant number of those kinds of cases come before my judge in my court. Now, if there are some people out there that are listening who are really intrigued and are involved in similar situations, how again can they get a hold of someone other than through the internet? There's no phone number or anything, but they'll just have to get into your organization through the internet. Is that the only way of which, for the most part, available?
No, you can call my number here because I run the organization out of this area, and it's 309-696-7930.
Repeat that again.
309-696-7930.
Okay.
And we urge you to call in. Mm-hmm. We urge you to get on the internet. We urge you. This is another thing. At the rally that we had at our last Fatherless Day rally, we had a candidates forum afterwards also. Mm-hmm. And although we're a nonprofit organization, we can't support or oppose any candidate. It's very important that the people know who support this issue and who doesn't. Mm-hmm. We had some that didn't even show up because they felt like this issue was irrelevant. Mm-hmm. Fathers' issues or parental rights issues, and kids not seeing their fathers. And it is really alarming because I think the number's over 100,000 every year.
Roughly about 100,000 people.
Kids every year that's going to end up fatherless. Mm-hmm. Because of the court system. Mm-hmm. Now, we ain't even talked about the allegations of abuse or another parent just taking off and leaving the vicinity or the jurisdiction, but this just within the court system from divorce.
Divorce and separation under a Parentage Act.
So, if that's not important to your U.S. senator, your state senator, your governor, then maybe you need to start looking at other parties. Maybe you need to start looking at independents or green parties, you know. They may not have enough votes to probably win an election, but they definitely can get enough votes to swing an election. Where the Democrats may have thought they had it, well, if you vote independent or green party, you know, it just might sway it in the other person's favor. So they need to start getting serious about this issue. And like I said before, until you put these families back in order, 40, 50 years ago, we didn't have this, Andre. I mean, the kids not achieving in school and drugs and all that, that was always the exception. That wasn't normally the rule, you know, even in the black community, okay? But now, 30 to 40 years later, after you start taking fathers out of the home, you know, then you're like, duh, we don't understand why this is happening.
How is your program being marketed? Because I'm fairly well in the know, and what you're telling me is relatively new to me, and I'm quite certain we have some listeners that probably don't even know that you exist. And so how would people in the various communities that you represent, in particular here in Peoria, how would a person happen to know about this organization?
Most of it's been word of mouth.
So, word of mouth.
Yes. Because once our members understand what we're about and they're a part of our organization, they let their friends know. And we've seen groundswells from communities that have had active members joining up within our community. Because I monitor all of our internet traffic and see where our traffic comes from. About 85% of our web traffic comes from here in Illinois. And it comes from across the state.
Okay, well, I'm certainly hoping that after tonight's show there will be a number of people who will be in contact with the organization, with you, John, to express an interest in terms of supporting the organization as well as benefiting from whatever services that you can direct them or information that you can share with them. And that's why I felt it was really important to have you gentlemen on the show tonight, because
and we appreciate
it is important for fathers, and particularly fathers who want to be responsible, to be given a chance. Because one thing I know for certain through the mass media is they're always talking about the fatherless home where the father isn't taking on the responsibility, but you're here to let us know that there are a number of people and fathers who want to be responsible. But the system sometimes disallows their full participation, and I think that's important for people to realize that concept too, that you know, because we do batter. In fact, I've kind of criticized fathers that anybody can be a daddy, but it takes a real man to be a father. And for a few little moments of joy, you have a lifetime of responsibility. And it's time to step up to the plate and be a responsible. In fact, I have this term called macho man. A real macho man, M-A-C-H-O-M-A-N, is make a child happy often, macho.
Nice.
By mentoring and nurturing. And what you're indicating tonight is that there are many men who want to mentor and nurture, but are being blocked from having that very important role in the family unit.
There is no government study, academic study, no scientific study that points the finger at the irresponsible father as being the cause of father absence. So. But yet there is a strong myth out there that it is due to irresponsibility.
And see, also another myth I want to get straightened out, and Mr. Jenks talked about it in this movie, you know, and not just with fathers. I specifically want to speak to this. Black fathers, no matter what you hear from everybody else, 66% of them pay their child support and pay it on time. Okay. So all that about black men don't take care of their kids, you know, that's a myth. And the ones that don't see their children, it's a documented fact that the majority of them would be involved in their child's life if they had unfettered access to them, but they get so much the interference from the mom, and they get so much alienation because of the mom that even when they go visit their children, you know, the children are telling them, say, well, you ain't this, and you're not, you're no good. Mom said this, mom said that. See, so if it wasn't for that, you'd have more father participation in the kids' lives. So,
well, I'm getting time cues, gentlemen, and again, I want to thank the three of you for sharing the real story, or as Paul Harvey says, now you can hear the other side of the story, or whatever his line was. And I certainly hope that those of you who are viewing tonight will not only take in the information that you heard, but do something with that information and get involved. And let's make it a win-win situation for you, the fathers, as well as the children. This is Andre Bohannon saying good night, and I really appreciate your tuning into Captions, and hopefully, in fact, I don't have to say hopefully, I know you've heard some information tonight that is of invaluable substance in terms of the quality of your life and your children's life. Good night.